Hello Southies, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ceci and today you are watching another speed build video, and in this speed build video I'm actually doing something special. I am creating a mostly CC build using CC creators Peacemaker, Harrie's, Alexander, and Illogical Sims, and I'm really excited to showcase this build to you. Now, I say it's mostly CC because I didn't do any build mode CC, so the entire, I guess, exterior of the build is all EA, but inside the build, all the furnishings, is the majority those CC creators that I just mentioned. I will be sure to put links to their websites in the description below. I won't tag or put each set that I used because I was sort of all over the place. I went on the sites and just got as much as I could that I felt spoke to me. I will say that I have all of the collaborations with Harrie and Alexander and a lot of the Hamptons stuff from Peacemaker, and then a few pieces from Illogical Sims, Tiny Living sort of do, and I think that's it. So yeah, you'll see stuff in here that will be in one of those specific collections. So if you just go to their websites and download it, and then download this build into your game, it should work fine. But yeah, I have been wanting to do a CC build. As you know, or as you may know, I typically don't do CC builds because I want to make sure that my builds are easily accessed on the gallery, and when you post a CC build on the gallery, it's just more difficult to find because you have to click custom content. It's just sort of a hassle. So I usually don't build with CC, but I love CC creations, especially if they are Max's Match, because I feel Max's Match just fits better in the world. And obviously I use CC on my Sims because I generally don't share my Sims on the gallery. I think there are a few, but yeah, so I finally got the opportunity to do it, and I'm really excited about this build. It is a pretty big build. I didn't set out to do a big build. It just sort of turned out that way. As you can see, the floor plan, I didn't show you exactly how I made it because it did take me a while, but it is a 5-bedroom house. It has a sort of a great room, living, dining, kitchen area, and then there is a big family room in the basement downstairs. So it's a pretty substantial build. I cut a lot of footage out because I wanted to try and make sure this build or this video came in around the 20-odd minute mark. I think it ended up being 22 minutes. But yeah, I cut a lot of stuff out because it is a huge build. I think that there is a garage that isn't, obviously it's not functional to be used for vehicles, but I put a little gym set up in there and some boxes and things in there. The landscaping, there's not a whole lot of landscaping. This is, I believe, a 30 by 20 lot. So most of the landscaping is here at the front. There's a good sized backyard where I have some items, skill building items back there. But yeah, it took me a while. I think I'll say a couple of days, but altogether I think it took me like 3 hours to build this. And the only reason why it took a couple of days to do that 3 hours is because I started this build late at night, got tired, woke up, and finished it the next day. So yeah, this is a build that I could do in one sitting. But yeah, I don't know really what you could call the style of home. I guess just sort of a suburban style home, kind of in my wheelhouse. The interior is also really in my wheelhouse as well, as far as it has a very bohemian style. That's one thing I liked about all of the CC that I chose. It just sort of fit that kind of homey, cozy, bohemian vibe that I like to do so much. I really need to sort of expand my horizons on that. I try to make my builds unique as possible and do different styles and things, but I will say some styles are just so much harder, not because The Sims doesn't necessarily provide what I would need to do it. It just, I don't know, I just don't always feel comfortable or feel as if I'm executing certain styles correctly, if that makes any sense. But in this house, let's see, there's a couple and they have 3 children, a teenage daughter, a child son, and then a toddler son. And then the wife, her sister, lives with them. And so on the bottom floor, there is a bedroom off the kitchen that has a bathroom. And at first I was going to make it the parents' room, and then I thought, well, they have a toddler, so they don't want to go all the way upstairs if the baby needs anything. So then I was like, well, maybe I could make it for a grandparent. And I was like, well, I wouldn't want to put that kind of burden on a grandparent. And so, or the grandparent having to go up and down the stairs all the time, especially. And so I decided, well, what if the mom's sister came to live with them while she was in school? And so that is the idea behind the family dynamic. The teenage daughter and the toddler sim in this sort of story are adopted, and then they have one biological child, the son. And so the family is very eclectic, mixed. Oh, and then the mother and sister are not biologically related, but they are adopted. One of them is adopted, or they both could be adopted, who knows? And so that's why I thought, well, maybe the mom would want to adopt her children because she too was adopted. Her and her sister were adopted, and that's just something that's always been on her heart. So that's what I did. But yeah, now I'm working on the living room here. You saw me do the kitchen a little bit. The kitchen is mostly Peacemaker. The living room area is mostly Harrie's. I want to say just Harrie's from her Gardein pack, but that could be, oh my gosh, I don't even know. No. Gardein pack is Felix Anders, I think is how you pronounce it. Now you'll see me put down this coffee table and you might think that's not CC. It actually is. Peacemaker has a full collection of sized down coffee tables. So that is really cool. And so I wanted to put that in here. I know a lot of people complain about a lot of items in The Sims being too big and too bulky. Well, there's your solution. You can go to Peacemaker's and find his coffee tables that are all sized down at a normal height, quote unquote normal height. But yeah, I love this stuff. It is so pretty. They come in so many amazing swatches, and the swatches, they give off such a good vibe. It's just so pretty, and I really enjoyed putting this together. Let's see. I am here. The entryway, I didn't do a whole lot to it. It's just sort of you walk through. And I think there's a walk-in closet. So the idea would you put your coats there and all that stuff. And I think I might have a picture. I will say this area of the kitchen was really hard because I wanted the living, kitchen, and dining area to all be in one spot. But I realized, despite the build feeling super big, I really couldn't fit all that I wanted in here. Now, typically speaking, I could, but I also try to keep in mind how the routing for your Sims. And so, because in my mind, a perfect spot for the dining table would have been more in between the kitchen and living room area, kind of where that bookcase is. But it wouldn't fit because your Sims wouldn't be able to route in there. They would get stuck and start doing the waving in the air thing. And so one thing I did do was I made the back of the build a little bit bigger. So I pulled out the kitchen some, and then that way your Sims could sort of walk around. So everything's been player tested. Your Sims should be able to get around. Be sure to put move objects on just to make sure. Now, you won't see me do a whole lot of cluttering in this build, but you'll see a lot of the clutter. Harrie has a lot of clutter items like drinking glasses, wine glasses, plates, mugs, that kind of thing, and I stacked them all in that chair. I think a lot of that comes from the Felix and Harrie's kitchen pack, and so you'll see me, or there'll be a lot of clutter in the kitchen, I should say. I don't think you'll see me put in a lot of that, just because I wanted to keep this video as short as I could. But yeah, and then the plants. I kind of went plant crazy, and if you are a fan of Harrie's and her channel, she talks about how much she likes plants. A lot of times when packs come out and they have plants, they'll have the plants kind of combined together, and immediately she's talking about separating the plants to get more plant usage. So I cluttered this build up with a lot of plants. She does have a specific plant pack, but for some reason I couldn't get it to download. So most of the packs that I use, or the plants that I use, came with the packs that they have. Yeah, I couldn't get it to download to save my life, and I tried a couple times, and I don't know what was going on with that, but yeah. So yeah, I loved sort of putting a lot of plants in here, so I put a lot of plants from Harrie's and then a lot of Peacemaker plants as well. I think that CC creators are so freaking talented, especially those who just create all new kind of items, like these couches and the plants and the table. That's not in the game. Like, those aren't recolors. Those are from scratch. Like the kitchen, I love those cabinets so much. And while they probably use various things as a base, you know, to make sure that they work properly, just coming up with just the fabric to make that couch look like it's actually made of fabric. Like, you look at it and in your mind, you know how it's going to feel when you sit down on it, right? I just think that's so cool. There is some really cute artwork in one of these packs. They're kind of all running together for me. I can't even think of it. That I will put down. I think I used some artwork from the Tiny Travelers. It's not up right now, but you'll probably see it in the screenshots. The wallpapers. Okay, the wallpapers are so beautiful. This wallpaper is from Tiny Travelers, and there's tons of really beautiful wallpaper in that pack. It is so pretty, and I think it is. It could be. It's either from Tiny Travelers, kitchen, or bathroom. Like, at this point, it's seriously all mixing together for me. This room, the family room, I think is the most fun room in the house. I love it so much. I would want to live here. That rug is beautiful. This Peacemaker sofa set is so pretty. It looks super cozy. And this little item, which I believe is also Peacemaker. There's a lot of Peacemaker downstairs. Let's see, what was that? Was that a fireplace? I would have loved to have used it, but it was way too big. And so I didn't. But there's a lot of stuff down here. I imagine that your Sims will spend the majority of their time downstairs, because I tried to put as much stuff. The only thing that's not down here is a bathroom, and the only reason there's not a bathroom down here is because every time you try to expand the basement, it will bump up the upstairs. So the ground will push up, and I don't know what that is. It drives me crazy. I feel like I should be able to put a network of tunnels all around this build and underneath, and it should not affect the top at all, because in real life, you know, you build a basement, you expand it out, it's not gonna affect the top of the house. Or I don't know, maybe it does. I'm not sure. This little chair I thought was so cute. Obviously, I don't think it actually is a swing, but it is really cute, so I had to put it in there. And here's some more Peacemaker stuff. I put the knitting set down here when I thought I was going to have like a grandma live here, but obviously anybody could knit. I put some knitting items in the girl's bedroom, so maybe she's the person that likes to knit, or the teenager's bedroom. Family computer down here, and I think I gave the teenager a laptop because in the beginning I thought that maybe she was in college and she was just living at home, so they gave her her own laptop. With I believe this is Tiny Traveler's set, there is a new art piece from there that's really cute. Ping pong table and scouts down here. And now I'm working on the toddler's bedroom, which is the most adorable. Toddler stays right across the hall from the parents. And this wallpaper, again, I can't get over it. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. I would have loved to have been able to put down that, what is that called? The dollhouse, but it was too big. These bedrooms, taking screenshots, it was a nightmare. Like I said, I'm player testing the house. So far, everything works. This bedroom is so small. It did, and I knew it was small when I was doing it, when I was putting it, but I really wanted to stick as many bedrooms as I could. In reality, this room is big enough for anyone to function. What do you use your bedroom for? Like in real life, what do you use it for? Use it to sleep. You might use it to sit on your laptop. If you have a computer desk in your bedroom, you might use it for that. But bedrooms don't have to be that big, right? There's so many other areas of the house, and generally only one person is in it. So it doesn't have to be super huge. But now I'm like worried that no one will be able to get through. Like especially where that chair that is, like, oh, I hope that they'll be able to get through. Again, we'll player test it to its completion. I did most of it, mostly everything everybody can get through. This little setup in the hallway I thought was really cute on the landing. And I want to say most of this, I have no idea. I feel like all of it is Peacemakers, but watch me be wrong. But like, I think that poof might be from Alexander and Harrie pack. But yeah, I thought this was really cute. I couldn't find a working bookshelf. Now, I put a bookshelf downstairs and I put a bunch of books on it, but when I was player testing it, it didn't actually work. So I think in the house, this is the only little set of books. No, there's a bookshelf downstairs, but it's base game. But I put a bookshelf, CC bookshelf, and I don't think it actually functions as a bookshelf. I think it functions as just a shelf, and the little clutter pieces for books don't work either. But I think that was done before they did the update to where these little bookshelf decoration, or these book decorations with the little ends, that they can also be used to purchase and read books. So now I'm working on the teenage daughter's bedroom. Again, tiny bedroom, but what's she gonna do? She's gonna come in, do her homework, and go to sleep. Like, she's not gonna be doing a lot. So those little comforter sets are Peacemaker, and that it just kind of gives you the opportunity to sort of change up swatches on beds in a easier way. One thing you'll have to do, unless you get an actual CC bed frame, if you just use the in-game beds, you'll have to lift the comforter up just slightly using the 9 key so that it doesn't bleed through the original swatch. But I will say I did a lot of sort of experimentation on the color schemes of the bedrooms. I typically go for a lot of the same colors, and I decided I wanted to do something a little different. So you'll kind of see that a little bit. This swatch right here. So this is the parents' bedroom, like I said. Started off to be maybe a grandparent's room, but then I decided that I wanted the immediate family unit to be up here. But yeah, I am coming up on the end of the video. Not a whole lot of housekeeping items, just working on LPs, working on builds, getting back into the swing of things, and trying to put out good content for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by way of pressing the like button. Comment down below, what do you think? What do you think of the CC? Would you download it for your own gameplay? And if you haven't already and you want to see more content from me, please subscribe. I try to post every week, and I would love to have you be a part of the Southie family. As always, my name is Cece, and I promise never to break your game. Bye.